My best friend picked me for 7 minutes in heaven. She locked the door. Start the clock. The music stopped, and everyone in the room suddenly went quiet. My best friend, Emma, looked straight at me. Then she smiled. I pick you. For a second, I honestly thought I had heard her wrong. Me? She nodded. 7 minutes in heaven. Everyone around us started laughing and cheering. I tried to laugh too, but my heart was beating so hard that I could barely hear anything else. Emma and I had been best friends for almost 8 years. We had shared secrets, late-night phone calls, stupid arguments, embarrassing stories, and more memories than I could count. But there had always been one rule between us. We never crossed the line. At least, that was what I believed. Emma stood up, walked across the room, and held out her hand. Come on. I stared at her hand. You're serious? She smiled. Very. I took her hand. Everyone started counting down like we were heading into some kind of championship match. 10. 9. 8. Emma pulled me toward the small storage room at the end of the hallway. 7. 6. She opened the door. 5. She looked at me. 4. She smiled. 3. She stepped inside. 2. I followed. 1. The door closed behind us. Then I heard the lock click. I looked at her. She leaned against the door and folded her arms. Start the clock. I laughed nervously. This is crazy. Maybe. Emma, we're best friends. I know. And we're actually going to sit in a closet for 7 minutes? She took a small step toward me. Unless you have a better idea. I looked around. There wasn't much room. A few coats hung on the wall. Boxes were stacked in one corner, and a tiny lamp gave the room a warm, yellow glow. I could hear everyone outside laughing. But inside, everything suddenly felt different. Quiet. Too quiet. Emma looked at me. You're nervous. No, I'm not. You're terrible at lying. I've known you for 8 years. Of course I'm nervous. She smiled. Why? I shrugged. Because this is weird. Just weird. I looked away. She noticed. Tell me. Tell you what? Why you're nervous. I took a breath. Because you're looking at me like that. Her smile disappeared for a moment. Like what? Like you know something I don't. She stepped closer. Maybe I do. My heart skipped. Emma. She laughed softly. Relax. I'm not going to attack you. I didn't think you were. Good. She leaned against the wall beside me. For several seconds, neither of us spoke. Then she said, Do you remember the first time we met? Unfortunately. She laughed. You spilled coffee on my homework. You left your notebook right next to my drink. And you blamed me. You were sitting there. I hated you. You absolutely did not. She smiled. No. I didn't. There was something different in her voice. Something softer. I looked at her. Why did you pick me tonight? She looked down at the floor. I don't know. That's not true. She sighed. Fine. She looked back at me. I picked you because I've wanted to tell you something for a long time. My stomach tightened. What? She hesitated. I don't know how to say it. Just say it. She smiled nervously. You always do that. Do what? Make everything sound easy. I laughed. That's because I'm terrified too. She stared at me. You're terrified? Yeah. Of what? I looked at her. Of losing you. Her expression changed. Why would you lose me? Because sometimes people realize they're better apart than together. She shook her head. That's not what I'm talking about. Then what are you talking about? She took another step toward me. I'm talking about the fact that every time someone asks me who I would choose if I could spend one perfect evening with anyone. She stopped. My voice was barely a whisper. Who? She smiled. You. I couldn't move. Outside, someone shouted through the door. 5 minutes left. Emma laughed. Apparently we have 5 minutes. I looked at the door. Then back at her. What are we supposed to do? She shrugged. Talk. About what? Us. That word hit me harder than I expected. Us? Yes. She took a breath. I think I've been hiding behind the word best friend for years. I swallowed. Emma. I know. She looked nervous now. I know this could change everything. I nodded. It could. But I'm tired of pretending I don't feel anything. The room suddenly felt smaller. I looked into her eyes. Feel what? She smiled sadly. You know. No. I don't. Yes, you do. I shook my head. Say it. She stared at me for a long moment. I love you. Everything stopped. The laughter outside disappeared. The music seemed miles away. Even the ticking clock seemed to vanish. I stared at her. You love me? She nodded. I have for a long time. I couldn't speak. She looked down. You don't have to say anything. Emma. She looked up. I need you to know something. What? I've loved you too. Her eyes widened. You have? I nodded. For years. She laughed, but there were tears in her eyes. Then why didn't you ever tell me? Because you were my best friend. And I was scared. She smiled. So was I. We stood there, only inches apart. Neither of us rushed. Neither of us needed to. I reached for her hand. She held it tightly. Outside, someone yelled. 2 minutes. Emma laughed through her tears. 2 minutes. I smiled. Best 2 minutes of my life. She squeezed my hand. Mine too. Then she looked at me. What happens when we walk out? I thought about it. I don't know. Are you scared? Yes. Me too. I smiled. But maybe being scared doesn't mean we should run away. She nodded. Maybe it means it matters. The timer beeped. 7 minutes were over. Neither of us moved. Emma looked toward the door. We should probably unlock it. Probably. But she didn't move. Neither did I. Finally, she laughed. Come on, best friend. I smiled. Still best friends? She opened the door. Everyone outside went silent. Emma looked at me. Then she took my hand. Best friends. She paused. Maybe something more. The room exploded with cheers. I looked at her and laughed. For 8 years, she had been the person I called when something went wrong. The person I wanted to tell when something went right. The person who knew every version of me. And that night, inside a tiny locked room, I finally understood something. Sometimes love doesn't arrive as a stranger. Sometimes it has been standing beside you for years. Sometimes the person you've been searching for is the person you've been afraid to look at differently. Emma squeezed my hand. So So? Dinner tomorrow? I smiled. Is this a date? She grinned. Start the clock. And this time, neither of us was afraid of what would happen next.